Today we'll be taking this basic bar chart and transforming it into a publication-ready graphic without ever leaving R. Let's get started. We'll be working with a USArrests dataset that comes preloaded in R. To access it, all you need to do is run USArrests. But for our purposes, we'll be assigning it to a new data frame called arrests.df. This data frame uses the state names within the data as row names. But for our purposes, we'll be converting those row names into a new column called state. This is done with the Tibble package and the row names to column function. Simply call your data frame within the function and give your new column a name and run it. This will move the row names into this new column. Next, we'll do a few things to tidy up the data for visualizing. First, we'll select the columns that are relevant to our viz, like this. Then, we'll use the gather function to gather the arrest reasons into a new column called crime, and all the counts into a column called count. The -1 at the end of this code means gather all the columns in the dataset except the first one. Our data is ready for visualizing into a bar chart. Using ggplot 2, we'll begin simple, to then plan out the design changes we'd like to make. We'll declare our data, our aesthetics, and our mark. It's a geom bar with a summary statistic, and that summary's function is the mean. Voila, we have a very basic default bar chart in ggplot 2. This is a great place to start. Let's add a title and subtitle so that we have more context to what we're seeing. Using the labs function, we'll define a title, subtitle, and X and Y axis titles. Let's now choose the ggplot 2 theme that will get us a bit closer to what we'd like for our finished visualization. There are several predefined themes to choose from. For our purposes, we're going to use theme minimal. Already, our viz is looking quite a bit better. It's time to get picky. I'd like to give the bars of the visualization some breathing room underneath the subtitle and title. To do this, I'm going to adjust the y-axis using scale y continuous. I'll add this right below the geom bar. That's better. Though, to go even further, we should add a nice margin around the entire chart. This is where we'll be customizing the theme minimal to our liking. After theme minimal, let's add our own theme call and begin adding some code. We'll start with the margin and add 1 centimeter around the entire chart. Next, I'd like to remove the grid lines that remain from the theme minimal setting. You can adjust or style these individually, but we don't want any of them. To globally remove the grid lines, just use panel.grid and give it element blank. Running this removes the grid lines. Things are looking much cleaner now, but one thing that bothers me is that we really can't tell what the values are for each of these bars. So let's add labels to the end of each bar. We'll do this by adding another geom text beneath the bars in the code. For the aesthetic, we'll add a label and have it equal the computed Y value of the chart, like this. Then, similar to the bars, we'll give it a stat of summary and a function of the mean, and then adjust its size and position a little. That's better. If we have the values at the top of the bars, we no longer have any need for the y-axis values or label. We can update our custom theme to remove these by setting axis.title.y and axis.text.y to blank. Let's clean this up even further by styling the title and subtitle a bit, and then giving the entire chart an aspect ratio. Let's go 4x4 just in case you'd like to post this on something like Instagram. Next, let's pick a similar color for the bars, but different enough that it doesn't just seem like default ggplot 2 colors. We'll also change the bar labels to this color. There you have it, a clean, styled bar chart right out of R. To add a caption, simply add caption to your labs function and then style it within our custom theme. I hope this was helpful, and happy visiting.